festival costume, starting off with candidate number 1.
Our candidate number 1 is Mrs. Pampanga, Chona Chuy Darn. The province of Pampanga is not only known to be the culinary capital of the Philippines, but also known to be the Christmas capital of the country for their bright and gigantic lantern display throughout the Yuletide season, courtesy of the province-wide Ligligan Parol competition. As we celebrate the Yuletide season, may Christmas lanterns and this masterpiece be the symbols of hope, love, and prosperity as the world anticipates for the most wonderful time of the year. And may it also bring inspiration and joy to each Filipino heart despite this pandemic. Designer Darwin Liangco Reyes. Our candidate from province of Pampanga, Chona Chuy Darm.
Coming up next is Mrs. Philippines, Davao del Norte, Joy Sue. Inspired from the Philippine eagle, it is the largest forest raptor in the Philippines and the country's national bird, mostly inhabited in the islands of Province, Mindanao. Powerful as the species on top of the food chain, yet listed as critically endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, with an estimated number of only 400 pairs left in the wild. Davao del Norte's national costume reflects the symbol of strength and resilience. The qualities that this eagle manifests to counterattack its fate. The ensemble comprises Davao del Norte's official textile called Musa, a fabric with trademark under the Mrs. Philippines International DAVNOR candidate herself, Miss Joy Sue, as product of the Musa advocacy that she is spearheading. It provides livelihood to the persons deprived of liberty and the indigenous community of the province. Adorned with colorful beads and golden accent that represents the 7 tribes of the province: Mandaya, Mansaka, Dibawanon, Mangguagan, Kagan, Atamanod, Manobo, and Sama. DAVNOR's national costume conveys powerful as it soars high above the provincial realm of unity and progress. Once again, candidate number 2, Joy Sue of Davao del Norte.
Candidate number 3 is Mrs. Philippines International Santo Tomas, Batangas, Patricia Mir Banzuela. Ang pinangakong Maria Clara is a symbolic representation of our cultural identity and a continuous reflection of the arts and lives of our people. This Filipiniana shows the rich culture and tradition of the city of Santo Tomas, Batangas. An ensemble made to symbolize the strength and willingness of the Batangueños. The intricate bead works signify the beauty of Maria Makiling, mystical dweller and protector of Mount Makiling. The crown and veil symbolize the beautiful 30 barangays named after the saints. Gown designer LARNIE Liwag. Once again, our candidate from Batangas, Patricia Mir Banzuela.
Candidate from Taguig City, MYRTHLE Gimbatan. Her national costume is inspired by the blended culture of Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Its intricate designs, weaving, and representation is a mirror of the rich Filipino tradition. Taguig City is a melting pot of all Filipino culture, where modern and contemporary culture are in harmony. Her national costume is created by Candy Segovia. From Taguig City, MYRTHLE Gimbatan.
Candidate number 5 is Mrs. Philippines International, Santa Rosa City, MARITES ORTEGA. This design is an ultimate collaboration of classic and modern composite manifestation of Philippine folklore and traditions. Red gown masterpiece handcrafted with elegant and traditional style circa 1900, which defines the colorful history of our country. The ensemble signifies that Filipinos follow certain pattern of contrived forms to execute the beauty of the Filipina. Thus, the designer thought of this Spanish Latin design aristocratic version of a Filipiniana. The kamay babae sleeves, which is vital in every piece worn by a modest lady matched with a pakulo, cape and crown to showcase that the design is intended for a queen. The bodice, which is adorned by lace, thousands of beads, and Swarovski crystals to imply royalty and sophistication, matched to a dazzling triple-layer skirt of books pages-like pattern. A masterpiece fit for a queen, designed and executed by one of country's renowned fashion designer, Mr. Chico Estiva. Again, our candidate number 5, MARITES ORTEGA of Santa Rosa City.
Now let's meet candidate number 6, Mrs. Philippines International, Province of Laguna, JANETTE MAMINO. JANETTE is wearing the national costume, which is a symbolic representation of culture identity and a continuous reflection of one community. The trade or national costume she is wearing shows and represents the rich and progressive community of the province of Laguna. The special and colorful garments are ensemble served as the foundation of the costume that truly symbolize the strength and willingness of all Laguneñas, adorned with pearl beads that symbolize cleanliness, purity, and hope of the province. Specially designed headdress reveal and show the positive mindset of all people, giving importance to the Laguna Lake. Fighting fish reveals the strong and unified community with a common interest, way of living in the province of Laguna. And this costume is called the Palikpik. Proud to advocate, save the Laguna Lake. It is designed but no other than Richard Barreto of Hitomi. Once again, candidate number 6, Province of Laguna, JANETTE MAMINO.
Candidate number 7 is Mrs. Philippines International, Province of Rizal, Cristel Frelin Gardose Bulabon. Mrs. Rizal's national costume is a fully beaded bodysuit where the green beads and the bodysuit symbolizes the trees of the majestic Sierra Madre mountain that stretches in the east of Rizal province. She is holding a staff that shows Tanay and Angono Rizal's wood carving industry and the birds that are still visible in the mountains of the province. On her arms are tassels which visualizes the clear water of the famous Daranak Falls and Hinulugang Taktak Falls. She wears a headdress that figuratively serves as the sun that beams in the beautiful grandeurs of mountains every morning. Mrs. Rizal also carries the miniature of booming tourist spots in Pililla. The windmills, it is completed with a hand-painted cape by the students of San Jose National High School, which shows off the famous places and landmarks of Rizal Province. The national costume is designed by a rising costume designer of Rizal, Aljon Sicosana. Again, candidate number 7, Province of Rizal.
Now on stage is from Dasmariñas, Cavite, Maria Roxanne Roxy Ignas. Roxy is wearing the mariposa costume, which symbolizes the Paro-Paro Festival of Cavite. The colorful paru-paro, or butterfly, is a universal symbol of change, transformation, and celebration. The birth of a butterfly starts with an egg and becomes a butterfly larva, or also known as a caterpillar, where it grows quickly. It sheds from the chrysalis and fly off to a new life. The butterfly has a strong correlation to the city. The festival is an annual event celebrated every 26th of November. It features the metamorphosis of Dasmariñas from being a barrio to becoming one of the fastest developing cities in the country. Mariposa, sulong na, sulong pa, Dasmariñas. Representing it is Miss Maria Roxanne Roxy Ignas.
Candidate number 9 is Mrs. Philippines International, Mrs. Olongapo City, Leona Luisa Andersen. This national costume ensemble is inspired by historic and modern histories of Olongapo, made of 100% native and indigenous materials. This costume represents the native tribes of Zambales. A modern Filipiniana has projected to be more creative than the usual Filipiniana to show the competitiveness of Olongapeños in terms of modern infrastructure and leisure to welcome all the tourists and to show its competitiveness. Attached is a trail with a monument of the Ulo ng Apo to pay tribute to its very own hero, and the colorful jeepneys for where Olongapo is known, and the colors to represent its harmonious lifestyle, yet simple and joyful city, where everyone can live in a free, happy life because in Olongapo. This is the only place where you can live, learn, work, and play. Designer, RJ Diaz. Once again, our candidate number 9 from Olongapo City, Leona Luisa Andersen.
Candidate number 10 is from the shoe capital of the Philippines, Marikina City, Marites, Marty, Madi, Madamba. The festive costume symbolizes a modern Filipina, a woman who shines bright in the middle of the night. A half woman and a half man design connote an equal right between men and women. Participation, recognition, educational opportunities, and respect to be given to the latter equally. She continuously promoting upliftment for women's voice should not be underestimated and should be considered as a gold asset in the power of words. The works of a woman are inspiring, powerful, and influential. Respect for men should not be abolished. Likewise, it is a perfect match for an empowered woman. One, masculinity should not be the sole basis of superiority over other genders and such by accepting and recognizing the capabilities of femininity. The LGBT plus community deserves a place in society. Having inner purity should be seen instead of misjudging the outside. They can think, can feel, can help. They have the heart. This red gown symbolizes love and power, and the veil narrates immaculately but unfolds the undiscovered truth behind it. Designer is Ariel Dulay. Once again, from Marikina City, Marites Marty Mandi Madamba.
Candidate number 11 is Mrs. Philippines International, Province of Batangas, Angelica Villena. This national costume is called Kulay ng Kahapon. This was made by thousands of tassel beads that represents thousands of Batangueño. She chose to wear something that signified the bravery and love of every Batangueño through its color. The pakulo on her shoulder represents the queenly image of a mother that despite of every challenges and problems, she keeps on shining. The trailing cape with Swarovski crystals represents each and every people who step with me through the pageant. They are the bravest Batangueño who supports her within the journey. Province of Batangas, Angelica Villena.
Our 12th candidate is Mrs. Philippines International, Calamba City, Yudian Joy Pasamanero Anoyo. She is wearing traje de mestiza el Filipiniana. Traje de mestiza or modern day Maria Clara shows how the traditional dress evolved into a modern one. Just like how a simple town of Calamba, where our national hero was born and developed into a first-class city. The upper part of the traje was made by juicy fabric, which was manipulated to make it look modern yet carries the hint of tradition. The lower part was designed by an embroidery using a calado technique which significantly depicts unmatched creativity of Lagunense designers. The lamp with a candle symbolizes light that guides Calamba towards becoming a highly urbanized city, while the rosary represents how Calamba is founded to its religious roots. Traje de mestiza is more than just a costume. It is a culture, a tradition, and a reflection of what once a place called Kalanbanga became the Calamba that it is today. Tested by time, adaptive to changes, and stood strong. Again, our candidate from Calamba City, Yudian Joy Pasamanero Anoyo.
Candidate number 13 is Mrs. Philippines International, Cabuyao City, Marisa Navaira Maris Montalan. Showcasing the best of Cabuyao, reviving the of Cabuyao, Laguna. This Louis Pangilinan Fashion National from the prosperous treasures of the city, all embracing the artisanal spirit of the costume implies grace, days of yore, and dignity. Defines Cabuyao's representative to Mrs. Philippines International, Navaira Maris. This costume was executed in ball gown, which was hand-embroidered and embellished with hand-painted art depicting the flamboyant culture of Cabuyao, including the Cabuyao tree, Matang Tubig Cave, Matang Tubig Falls, Marcos Twin Mansion, St. Polycarp Parish, San Cristobal Dam, Poor Clare Monastery, Sala Yugan Bridge, Smokestack, Reina del Santissimo, Rosario Bell, Casa Carpena, and the Sacdalism and Philippine Radicalism Monument, telling the breathtaking core and history of Cabuyao and Philippine Radicalism Monument. Again, candidate number 13, Province of Cabuyao City, Marisa Navaira Maris Montalan.
Our next candidate is candidate from Talisay City, Cebu, Cherzil Amante David. A costume designed by Malaika Llamas. It is inspired by modern-day warrior and defined as a battle-ready lady who lives by an exemplary code of conduct, who embraces courage, compassion, and discipline, who strives for the betterment of herself so she may be the transcendent protector, wife, mother, and leader of the clan. It is duly accentuated with native beads, hewn in different sizes, shapes, and colors that represents the characteristics of a great warrior, fearless, strong, and brave. Once again, from Talisay City, Cebu, wearing a modern-day warrior, Cherzil Amante David.
Candidate number 15, Mrs. International, Lapu-Lapu City, Genevieve Jean Lu. This is representative of Lapu-Lapu City main source of livelihood, the fishing. The design was secretly made by selected glittery sequins and different kinds of wood beads joining together, creating a design simple yet extravagant, making the whole costume synchronizingly alluring to the naked eye. Boat and paddle signifies adventure, journey across life, whether by faith, education, strength, direction, curiosity, or any other such motivation. Kerosene and love, intellect, and good works are the manifestation of the symbolic nature of the lamp. Lapu-Lapu or grouper fish symbolizes bravery and positivity of the people. The historic resort city celebrates on April 20, Kadaugan of Mactan, the festival in organized to honor Chieftain and his triumph over Magellan. When everyone's at bed, he draws up his daily bread. Lapu-Lapu City designer Aldo Sineneng Loquinario. Our candidate from Lapu-Lapu City, Genevieve Jean Lu.
There you have it, the candidates of Mrs. Philippines International 2021 in their cultural costume.